Remember to have courage and be kind. Hello darlings, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about Disney princesses, because of course I am. So I was the kind of girl who was pretty much brought up on Disney movies. I absolutely loved them, could not get enough. I was obsessed with Disney when I was a child, and that obsession has been carried forward into my adult life. I have so much fondness and love for the Disney princesses and Disney animated films. I think that they're just so creative and wonderful and unique, and they bring me so much joy and happiness. And I have noticed that in the past few years it's become somewhat of a trend to hate on the Disney princess format and to show that you're really super cool by saying that there's absolutely no value in the whole princess culture thing. And while on some level I get it, it is not very good to perpetuate the idea that women are only useful when they are beautiful and submissive, and, you know, obviously the Disney princess movie tends to have the leads fall in love very, very quickly, but you do also have to remember that they are based off of fairy tales and they are children's animated films, so they are not a model for life. And I think that they get a bit too much flack, personally. I think it's a lot of it has turned into a way for people to show that they're kind of they're too cool for Disney movies rather than having legitimate concerns about them. So whilst I do understand some of the criticism towards Disney movies, I think that Disney princess movies are a beautiful, wonderful thing, and we're getting really cool, new, exciting Disney princesses recently. Princesses like Merida and Tiana and Rapunzel and Moana. I think that rhymed. Princesses who are hardworking, who are bold, who are adventurous. And that is something that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the merits of the Disney princesses, because I think people are a bit too mean about them. So, I thought we could talk about the lessons that I personally learned from Disney princesses when I was a child. So for me, I wrote down all of the Disney princesses, and I thought about what they said to me and what kind of traits I would like to emulate from them that have carried me through into adulthood. So I kind of tried to write like 2 adjectives for all of them, and obviously some of them, pretty much all of them, are quite similar, so I tried to think of new different ones for every princess. So I wouldn't be repeating myself too often, but the things that in my opinion you can take away from each princess are, from Snow White, to be kind and to be optimistic, from Cinderella to be hopeful and to be persevering through hard times, from Aurora to always be looking for more. Aurora is classically the princess who has the least amount of screen time in her own film. I believe she's only on the screen for about, it's something ridiculous, it's like 20 or under 20 minutes. I'll put the exact time here. I'll Google it and I'll put it here. So it's, you know, she is the most like stripped down Disney princess, but you know, she doesn't want to be fenced in, she doesn't want to be cornered, she's a free spirit, she loves nature, she loves walking around, and I always liked that about her when I was younger. She likes to sing, just like I did, so I always still loved her anyway. Continuing on, from Ariel, you can be curious and daring. From Belle, to be literate, which is really important for young girls, and to be bold. Belle is not afraid about what people say about her, and even if it does bother her a little bit, she would rather be herself than be liked and conform to other people's expectations of her, which is something that all of the Disney princesses, especially the newer ones, tend to share, and that's a really great trait. For Jasmine, I put to never settle and to look for your independence, because obviously Jasmine is being put into a bit of a forced marriage, but she doesn't settle for the first prince that comes through the door. She wants to marry for love and for her own reasons, and if she can't have that, she doesn't want to marry. And I think that's pretty darn modern of her. From Pocahontas, to be brave and to love earth and love nature. Pocahontas is obviously deeply spiritual, and she loves the earth. She's very in touch with nature, and now more than ever, with all of the climate change and scary stuff about the planet, I think that's a really important message to take home, which is also why Ferngully should be shown in all schools. Oh my god, Ferngully was such a good film. Not Disney, but very, very good. From Mulan, we can learn to defy tradition and to conquer our fears. Mulan goes into the army to save her father's life. She risks her life for her father, and she is frightened. She is vastly kind of outgunned, I suppose. You know, as a woman in her era, she would not have been doing a lot of physical labor, and she now has to keep up with a group of men, and she keeps up and she overcomes all expectations, including her own. Very, very, very good of her. From Tiana, we can learn to be determined and hard working. I love Tiana. I love the way that Disney mixed the fairy tale and the belief in like dreams come true with a genuine real world applicable hard grafting work ethic, because Tiana doesn't want to get, you know, this wonderful restaurant so that she can sit back and have an easy life. She actually wants to get a restaurant so that she can work even harder and even more steadily, just for an even greater reward. And I think that's such a wonderful thing to be teaching young people. I keep saying young girls, but young people of all ages and genders. I think it's such a good thing to teach. To see the contrast between Charlotte, which, by the way, I adore Charlotte so much. She's so cute. She's, oh, girl after my own heart. Who just blindly believes that, you know, if she wishes on a star, she'll be given everything she wants. And then Tiana, who the lyrics to Almost There go, I remember Daddy told me that fairy tales can come true, but you have to make them happen. It all depends on you. So that's a really, I think The Princess and the Frog was a beautiful, really underrated film, and it's just really blended real world work ethic, which you naturally have to have, with the Disney dreams come true spirit. So I think that was really awesome. From Rapunzel, we can learn to be feisty and to believe in the best in people. Rapunzel is so adorable, and controversial opinion, Tangled was a better film than Frozen. I love them both. Tangled is better. But Rapunzel is so sweet, and she just believes in the best in people, and I think that's a really good trait to have. From Merida, we can learn to be brave, pun intended, and to be fiercely independent. Merida does not care what a princess is supposed to do. Merida will do as Merida likes. But by the end of the film, she also learns to compromise and to combine her kind of headstrong nature with some of her mother's wisdom. And I think that that is a really great story arc, and it shows a good character for children to emulate. And from our most recent Princess Moana, we can learn to both follow tradition and forge your own path, and to take charge of your destiny. The ocean chose you for a reason, says Moana, and she believes more and more in herself, and sort of combines the traditions of her people, or you could say in real life that's the expectations of your family, with her own destiny and her own path that she wants to forge along. So you can see from reading out all of those qualities, I think they're qualities that we would want any son or daughter of ours, or any friend or any person that we would happen to meet, to have. And those are all things that I took away from Disney as a child. I saw Disney princesses, of course they were beautiful, and I liked the pretty dresses, and I liked that they were princesses, but they were also powerful and kind and brave and curious, and they got to go exploring, they got to have adventure and try new things, and yes, they got to fall in love. But I don't see that as a particularly bad thing. Again, you're condensing down a story, and I don't think it's really that much more unrealistic than the romantic comedy formula of today. Just my personal opinion. I would love to hear opinions about the Disney princess thing in the comments of this video. I think it would be very interesting to learn. So we can start a little discussion down there. Please, 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 everyone be kind. Disney friendly space here. And I think that there is so much more to learn and to take from Disney princesses than most people do. I will link a really, really good video about Cinderella, who is one of the most bullied Disney princesses, and I have so many feelings on it, but there is a video by Screen Prism, or I think they're called The Take Now, a really great movie analysis channel that puts my argument into much more cohesive words than I think I could ever manage. So I will link it in the description of this video, along with all of my social media, so you can follow me on Instagram at @averyvintagedarling, and you can follow me on Twitter at @vvintagedarling. I have a blog that I haven't posted anything to for a few months, but you can go and read my old posts if you would like. I will link that in the description as well. And of course, check out any of my other videos and subscribe if you enjoyed it. I love you all so very much, and I will see you in my next video. Au revoir! Always watch the Disney animated classic feature and show those to your children over the new ones. Because the new ones are, like, the live action ones are good, but animation is just an unbeatable art form. It's so beautiful. And I think the stories are better, personally. That's just me. Although I do desperately, desperately want Lily James's dress in the live action Cinderella. Oh my god. If I ever get married, I want that in pink. All of the old Disney princesses were like really classical sopranos, and then they just got more poppy. I love all Disney songs, but the old ones are really fun to sing.